Welcome, everyone. Today is October 30th, 2025, and we are coming to the end of Red October and getting ready to come into November. We have a special guest with the Royal House of We the People. We have Damian from the UK, and Damian is a very special patriot. We always have Mike Likens, who Mike does amazing jobs producing many of our podcasts and putting everything together. And then, of course, we have our little queen, Anna Marins from Brazil, and she's the queen of this channel. Yes, Royal House of We the People. That's right. So, Damian, we want to welcome you because I met you on X, and you are in the UK, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So Damian's, and we'll put the link to Damian's channel on X. Damian's been a follower on my channel, and I've been following him, and he does tremendous work. And recently, he shared some of his talents, and some of you have seen it on my channel and other channels, even on Telegram. He's got a tremendous heart. He's got a tremendous spirit about him. And Damian, I'd like you to tell the audience a little bit about you and living in the UK through this war that we've always been in. We just were woken up to it with COVID. Can you tell the people kind of your journey in the UK and how we got to this point, and then you writing these songs? Can you do that for us, please?
Thank you, James. So yeah, it really started for me in late teens. Used to write poetry. Kept it to myself. Was quite an emotional guy. Saw a lot of injustices. Didn't really know how to deal or react to them, so I used to put it on paper. Moving on a bit further, got a job with a big corporation. Worked with them for almost 3 decades. You sort of lose yourself. Too busy. Get a family, mortgage, all the usual stresses of life and the pressures that the government's put on you. And yeah, it got to a point I was very successful there, but didn't have time too much for the creativity side of it. And then probably COVID started. It sort of woke me up quite significantly. I saw a massive change in the company that I worked for. They were pushing, all the usual agendas that we're seeing, ESG, DEI, the net zero, the climate change, all of the stuff that really I couldn't push on the people because I didn't believe in it. And I'm one of those people who has his heart on his sleeve, wants to tell the truth, saw through it. And then obviously the COVID, pushing the vaccines and the scamdemic, as I always called it, and watched lots of people get injured. Saw some deaths in the business as well, which they never investigated or did anything about. And that was the final straw for me, really. So probably around late 23, Christmas 23, I decided to leave after 30 years. Didn't quite know what I was going to do. I was going to write a book on all of the truths that I was finding out, all the stuff that I was seeing, but didn't really have anywhere to go. So as James said, Telegram was a great place at the time. There was massive things that, good videos, good podcasters, lots of people telling stories, lots of people, really sort of give us an insight into the stuff that's been hidden from us for a long time. And was going to write a book in the first year. Unfortunately, had an illness with my wife, but which changed quite a bit. She was diagnosed with, terminal cancer in February last year. They didn't give her long, but she's an absolute fighter, an unbelievable fighter. We ignored half of the usual standard medicines that they push forward, so we've sort of got our own protocol to go alongside theirs, and didn't tell them about it. She is still here fighting today. She was under 6 stone. She's now 10 stone. She'll be annoyed at me telling you that bit, but she's 10 stone. She's absolutely kicking and fighting. And we took a decision to be positive, massively positive. You've probably seen that from some of my posts on X, Jim. Every day I'll try and post something as positive as I can. So sort of last year sort of disappeared a little bit. The UK, as we'll get on to in a minute, is, it's in turmoil, to be honest. I always think when America sneezes, 3 weeks later, the UK and Europe get a cold. So, it's pretty much like that. What happens in America, we tend to get the back end of it a few weeks later. So a lot of the people don't see it. They miss it. they miss the patterns, they miss what's actually going on. And then probably most of the part of this year, I was writing again, started writing poetry, trying to get a message across with poetry, trying to give somebody something positive, and eventually decided that I would try music, because people have sort of an 8-second lifespan. I believe it was 12 seconds back in 2020. It's down to 8 seconds. So if you want to make an impact with people, tell them the truth, give them information, you need to sort of find something that works in many different ways. So I sort of converted my poems to songs in the last 3 or 4 months. About 50-50. I've written 10 in 4 months. 5 of them come from the poems that I've written as I was awakening through this process. What If being an example that originally started as a poem, but obviously managed to turn it into something a bit different. And then Mike's done an unbelievable job and turned it into, when you put a story and pictures to music, it tends to have a great massive effect on people, and it's enhanced it massively. So I need to thank you all really for putting that out there and giving it an opportunity. I never thought I would continue converting songs to poems or writing songs, but I think I've had a change of heart in the last couple of months. And obviously when you came back to me, James, on Twitter, on X, and said, I'd like you to do one for the show, I literally did that in 4.5 days. And I remembered all of the podcasts that you'd done about secret covenants, about the Federal Reserve, about We the People, the Royal House of We, and tried to fit as much of that into the lyrics that I could, but still make it so that it formed in some kind of track that you could use. So that's pretty much where we are today.
Well, I can tell you this: you've touched my soul, my heart, my soul. I know that I talk, with Anna and Mike on a regular basis every day. You touch their soul. I'll let them speak for themselves, but I will tell you this: all the patriots I've shared it with, they all say the same thing. You have a way of really touching our heart and our soul with the lyrics that you put together. So I want to thank you for that. Mike or Anna, why don't we let you go first? You got a question for Damian, please?
Well, Damian, I'm very glad. I'm very honored to have you here with us, here with your songs. The moment the moment Cranker, we call him Cranker, brought your music, he was on tears, and he said, "No, you need to listen to this right now." And when I heard, I had this, you know, like I find one similar to me. You bring something magical, and I think it's very much related to your land, and we are all connected to the land we are born into. When we arrive in the place and the time and the space exactly because we resonate with this place, and you bring this magical aspect inside of us. It's kind of it's a childlike, but you can go further. It's like fairies, like this stories that they say it's legends, and I felt this your from from your music, and I'm very glad that now we have this theme song. I said, can we have a theme song for the Royal House of We the People? Because every royal house has this anthem or this, and it has to be touching for everyone's heart, that it's a new beginning. And music is a way, I believe music unites us, and
Yeah.
music makes us fly, to a different dimension, a different realm. And in this realm, we can be ourselves, and we bring that here to make it real. And you know, um,
And I think, thank you
I'm
for that.
very honored to meet a poet. in a poet from other lives in this life.
I used to always say I thought I was a poet, but I didn't really know it. But yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure you are.
I've
I'm
got
sure you are. You were born into in the land of the one of the most impressive men there were, or I don't know if it's a legend, but William Shakespeare, right?
Of course, yes. If
Yeah.
that's true,
Yeah.
obviously we'll find out at some point. But yeah,
Well, but what is true is what he brings out of us,
he does.
as
Yeah.
as you does, as you
And
do
of course, the
through
English
your
language
music.
is spread, isn't it, all over the world? It's that's what it gives the world, doesn't it? A lot of people speak English. A lot of people, communicate in English. That's probably our ignorance as well. When we go to different countries, and not many of us can speak their language or even attempt to. But certainly, English is a shared language.
Right.
But I was just going to make one more point actually and Jim touched on it earlier on. But one of the things I did find, obviously, when you quit work and you deal with many people, 200 people over the course of a couple of weeks, in very difficult times that we've been in, you thought you had a connection because you worked with these people for many, many years. But actually, when I stopped work, and you sort of isolate yourself because not everybody sees what we see, certainly if you go back 2 or 3 years, it's very hard to find that connection with people. You are very isolated. You are looking for people that resonate on the same thing, see the same things. You do question your own your sanity, obviously, and all of those things as well, which helped me write, because I was seeing it and I was thinking, why can't anybody else see what I'm seeing? But one of the things I did find, and James mentioned it, is social media. I never did until 2021, 22. Never touched it. Never had time for it. And it was the only place I could go. So a lot of people will be negative about social media, but it was the only place I could go really to find information, to find like-minded souls, to see, to actually witness some of the stuff that I was witnessing and share that with them. And it's amazing. I always think that you have such a connection with anybody anywhere else in the world that's on the same spiritual journey as you are, that's seeing the same things as you are, yet you're strangers. And even up till today, before we've come on this podcast, we were all strangers on text or on some kind of keyboard, with just words. But I just think that's the amazing thing about the journey that we're on as well.
Very well said.
Well said. Yeah, very well said. I echo what Mike said. Mike, you want to add anything or ask Damian any questions?
No, I just want to let him know when Jim shared with me the song. I was in the early morning of just working and just doing some stuff with our company, and so I was just kind of in a jovial mood. And I'm talking to Jim, and Jim's just like, he was just crying on the phone. I was like, "What's going on? What are you all right?" He's like, "You've got to stop right now what you're doing. You got to listen to this song." I go, "Okay." I said, "Give me a minute. No, stop, listen to this song and call me back." So I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I did. I listened to it, and it was a very, it was exactly what we felt. The first song we're going to play here, it's called, the title is called "What If," and as Damian had said, it's from a poem that he originally wrote, but it just encapsulates everything that we have gone through and been through. You can be a studied, theologian in the Q movement, or you could just be a passerby. But if you have any heart or soul in this movement and want the best for our country, our nation, our world, and this doesn't touch you, then there's something wrong with you. So I'll just play it. All I did with this was I listened to it probably 3 or 4 times, and I just got visuals in my head of just everything that's gone on with me over the past 5-6 years in this movement. Like you had said, the COVID scenario, and the flat Earth, or the anything to do with all the lies that we've been told. And it really just puts it all into a 3 or 4 minute song. So we're going to go ahead and play this. And then when we're done, if you want to talk a little bit more about it, we'd love to hear what you have to say. But I will push play here, and then we'll come back in a few seconds here.
What if one day you woke up and found you were free? What if dreams were more vivid and much clearer to see? What if you kept the faith and then discovered life's glory? What if you wrote your own life and then retold the story? What if real love always comes from within? What if your body was just a vessel with skin? What if their science was never really the proof? What if you were conscious and uncovered the truth? What if the weather was engineered with a plan? What if the clouds could be created by man? What if the sky never ended with space? What if your ancestors never came from this place? What if the firmament was impossible to breach? What if the moon was never out of our reach? What if real medicine could be found in the earth? What if your strong man was created at birth? There are so many lies that all these people have told. There's so many truths that are yet to unfold. Keep searching within you, it will make you aware.
We must revitalize the global economy.
We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals.
We need vaccines for a lot of things, not just epidemics. DNA, RNA vaccines, and so we'll fund a few projects to build specific vaccines.
What if all the illness and disease could be cured? What if your work paid you gold as reward? What if the sun kept the darkness away? What if that new world could be reached in a day? What if your smile could spread laughter and hope? What if your presence could help others to cope? What if you had knowledge and wisdom to give? What if you believed in a new way to live? What if you keep growing with a humble belief? What if time did not pass on the clock like a thief? What if all our memories and emotions gave love? What if we were all put here from the heavens above? What if the ocean had a secret to keep? What if you were the wolf who protected the sheep? What if the trees and the soil helped you heal? What if you were offered a red or blue pill? What if you use your heart to be kind every day? What if I could be with you even when you're away? What if you took the moment to reflect and to live? What if is the question, so what's the answer you give? There are so many lies that all these people have told. There's so many truths that are yet to unfold. Keep searching within you, it will make you aware. You have all that you need. There are so many lies that all these people have told. There's so many truths that are yet to unfold. Keep searching within you, it will make you aware. You have all that you need.
Yeah.
No matter how
Well,
many times.
yeah.
So many times to watch it.
Yeah. I just think back on some of the stuff that, I spent most of my life in the restaurant industry, my whole career, before I woke up. And I remember wanting to replicate and to be a chef. I'd go into the kitchen and ask the chef, I'm like, how in the world did you, this is exactly what I was looking to, this is a wonderful dish. This is unbelievable. And I feel privileged to, be sitting here with you as, and we're not trying to put you up on this pedestal. You're not a prideful person. But I say all that because out of appreciation for the gifts that are given to us, and because of humility and because of grace and because of all these things that are in this video, this very video that we watched. It tells a story.
Oh, guys.
Yep.
Guys. Oh, my darling. Baby. Oh, my gosh.
No, it does. It tells a story. So,
Are you crying, Damian? Bree. Perfect, Mike.
and it's just true. It is. So, and it goes along with the next song we'll play in a little bit, but I just want our audience to know that of all the pain that all of us have gone through over the past 5 years or 10 years, whatever your journey is, and it really says you're not alone. It says this isn't that we're all here. We're all here. So we all have each other's back, So thank you, Damian.
No, thank you, Mike. It's beautiful, really was. And that's exactly how I felt when I wrote it. To be honest, you're a bit lost. You're searching, you're looking, but you know that there's beauty out there. You know things will be right. You have to keep positive. You've got to sometimes be able to see behind the veil, as we say many, many times. And if you can see that, you can see the beauty, you can see innocence. If you can see people, coming together, like this movement has really done, then it's real. And I think that's what we've missed. We've missed something that's real for so long. And it's been, it's got all jumbled up and mixed together, and it's very difficult to tell what's real and what's not real. And I think that's what we're all breaking through. I think we're all on different timelines with our understanding of things. Some of the guys you have on this podcast, including yourselves, the knowledge is just, it's quite incredible, really. But anything that any of us can do to contribute towards it, I think helps one person. Again, every day, I always believe if one person smiles about something you write, something you say, it makes your day. It makes their day. And I noticed yesterday, I think it was on the US debt clock, one of the things I've said many, many times is pay it forward. So if someone's kind to you, someone shows you a kindness, if someone's generous to you, pay it forward. Just do it once to somebody else. Because if everybody did it, obviously it'd be a tidal wave across the world. And then I noticed on the US debt clock yesterday, I think it had pay it forward at the top. So I didn't look into it. I didn't have the time, but to understand what the reasoning was to put it on there. But I honestly believe that's a big factor in this, and the fact that obviously it resonates with you. It brings that emotion out in yourself, and sometimes it's very difficult for any of us to express where we are,
Right.
how to get emotion out, what we feel about it all, because it's very stressful as well. And I think that's worthwhile. Just that one song.
Yeah.
If I only ever wrote one song, and that's the song, then I'm a happy man like yourself. That's what I say.
Well, what if I'm jumping in? What if it's gematria Okay, and we are using gematria a lot to decode and to talk to this plan, because the plan talks to us in many ways, and including gematria. What if comes to 67? 67 comes to water, soul, honey, and Elvis. I think it's, well, you see, it's groundbreaking.
Mm.
It's the commander in chief. What if?
Hmm.
Unreal. I want to just say, Damian, when you shared that with me, how this went down, you just said, listen, I'd like to share something with you. And I'm like, you know, the beautiful thing about this movement, where we go one, we go all, is the collective conscious, you know, the collective consciousness, because we're all created in Christ's image, right? And we're finding out who I am and what I am all about. And we've shared different messages back and forth, you know, with Rob Cunningham and all the other that we've been working with. And when you sent me that song, I was so emotional. And even now, it's hard to fight back the ice sprinklers, because so many of us in this great awakening, I know a lot of people have a hard time with it, but we were chosen.
Mm.
And I believe everyone was chosen, but those that were called, there's only some that answered the call. And I've never felt closer to Christ. I've never been closer to God. I always believed in Jesus Christ. I've always believed in Christ within me. But to actually feel it and take your power back and to learn, I learned, and I'm going to give a shout out to quite a few people back home that we got together and we started doing this in 2018, 2019. And that's when we started studying about the British Crown. And we started learning that we don't have countries, we have corporations. These are all corporations. And we're all slaves to the corporations. So, you know, to Kay and Ray and Maggie, Andy, Bruce and Julie, there's a few, Ricky. We used to get together and we'd study together. And when the more we learned, the more we dug, the more we dug, the more we learned. And knowledge is power. And living in the matrix, that just what you were saying earlier in the show, Damian, and that is they got us getting up, doing the same routine every day. Get up, go to work, come back. You're so tired that the last thing that you would ever do is start researching. We just turned on the tell lie vision and we relied on the tell lie vision. Think about what I'm saying, folks. And they've been lying to us our whole entire lives. They've been manipulating and controlling us. And then when you dig into it further, then the corporations, then you learn that your state's a corporation, you learn that your county's a corporation, you learn that your city's a corporation, your police departments are a corporation, your school, all your district schools are all corporation. Everything's corporatized so they can manipulate and control the narrative. And then when you start telling people this, they think you're crazy. And I know everyone in this show and people that will listen to this podcast can resonate. This song, What If, brings back all the research that we've done, the thousands of hours that we put in, the study groups that we did on, and Anna, that's how Anna and I met, the study groups that we did on Telegram. Some days we wouldn't go to bed for 3 days studying, and we're all sharing information. And then we met this gentleman who played the character of Negative 48. And he taught us gematria. And he told us that Donald J. Trump, our commander-in-chief, talks to us in gematria. So now we're able to decode all of his messages. So we know that he says one thing, but in capitalized letters, that's gematria. We got to go to the gematria calculator. And Anna's phenomenal at this. She's excellent. I'm okay. I'm good at it. But there's other people in this movement. They can remember it in their head. They know exactly what certain terms are. And they go, this is what Trump's telling us. And people don't understand that this is the code that he uses in this war. He said he'll never give out the answers fully, but he gives us clues with gematria. And I can tell you, I'm forever grateful to -48. Because we learned. And the biggest thing we learned is in order to learn, you have to humble your ego. Because everything they taught us was bullshit. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're a nurse. I don't care if you're an attorney, a banker. Everything you learn in the universities were all controlled. And they taught us their bullshit. It was MK Ultra. And there's many good people that got caught up in the system. And to tell someone who worked their ass off, be a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer or, any type of master's degree. Think about what I'm telling you, master's degree. It's all what? Masonry, diplomas, masonry, the cap and gown. It's all masonry. It's all done by the Freemasons. And what we're going through right now is such a transition of everything that's been happening to humanity and all of the Christ bloodline for all these years. And we're making a change. And it's not only the people on this panel right here, it's not just Damian, it's all the patriots. It's all the patriots that have stood up all over the world who dropped everything. And I just want to know, you're all, every one of you, are making a difference. And I thank you, Damian, for that song, because I know it's touched a lot of hearts.
I will say this too, Damian, with that. Thank you, Jim, for saying all that. That's so well said. It also dives into the next song that he released last week, and it's it speaks to the storm that we've all been under, and it's actually entitled "Through the Storm," I told Jim after we heard "What If." I wanted to incorporate his story. He has a video out there that he's, is in front of the county board and is basically, waking them up and telling them, you'll see it in the video. I wanted to put that in there because it represented not only his story, but his commitment to this fight and how it divinely webbed into the song that you wrote, because it is the storm. It is a storm that we're all in, and it just was another so powerful song. But I've got it teed up. Jim, if you want to say anything, or Damian, do you want to say anything before I tee it up? Then go ahead. I just wanted to at least say that. Give Jim a quick break and to do that.
No, I mean.
Go ahead, Damian. Go ahead.
All I was going to add to that was, I agree. I mean, trying to sum up so much information, so much pain, if you like, so much work in a song is so difficult to do. It's not easy to do, and it's not that it's a hard thing for to write or because it's just lyrics at the end of the day, but it's actually trying to capture something that is going to make a difference to everybody else and is going to be something that they can look at and go, actually, that's a flag. That's something we can put in the ground. This is a marker of where we are today, kind of thing. So no, it was done relatively quickly, to be fair. But I tried to use as much as I could. I've actually broken the song down with about 5 pages of the stuff that's gone in there. But a lot of it is what I've learned from other truthers, as you guys have said. Other patriots that have put their story on the line, have put their integrity, their hearts, their souls to try and bring people the information. And we are all in a battle. It is a storm. You're absolutely right, and it's not over yet. We know that, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through the storm.
May I ask you, because you write the lyrics, but who is the person singing?
So
who is the voice?
Yeah, so because I'm not very techie, I managed to find a software app to try and put them into songs, as I said to you, because not everybody wants to read a poem. They haven't got the patience or the concentration levels. They just skip past it. It's a very quick world. You want quick interaction. So I just found a software program where you choose from, thousands of different combinations, what voice, what genre, what instruments you want to use that suit my lyrics. So you get it wrong 150 times before you get something that you think is a piece of work, if you like. So it's not you just find the voice. I mean, I'd love to be able to sing, Anna, I really would, if I could sing it, but I probably wouldn't be able to sing as well as the girl on What If, but I'll give it the same emotion. But certainly it's a process, and I'm learning all the time. This is something I've just done in the last couple of months to interpret my poems and my lyrics.
Wow.
And probably will continue to do it. It's
Awesome. This next song, Mike mentioned that Mike put me in the beginning of this song. And I certainly, I'm honored to be there, but I want you all to know that there's so many other patriots that deserve that same recognition. And they've stood up to school boards. They stood up to their county boards. They stood up against the election fraud. They stood up against COVID. So I just want to recognize all those as you watch this next song. And then most certainly, I want to talk to all the divine feminine mama bears, because in this war, we have seen the power of the divine feminine, and the churches have totally diminished that. The women in this country, in this world, are so powerful. And I want to thank them all for their contributions. So, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to push play here in a second. I just wanted to also say this caveat that I don't create any of the videos. I just pull these from content from other truthers' channels and but to stitch together the story that Damian's done. So, number one, I don't want to take credit for any of the videos that I didn't create the videos themselves. I'm just basically pull them all together to help tell the story as I see them. So if somebody sees this and I stole your video, I apologize. I'm not doing it to, this is all collective. So I just want to, go on record to say that if there's copyright or infringement or whatever, I apologize. I don't even know anything about it. So all I'm saying is I think we're all on the same page. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm going to share my screen, and we'll play this next song.
My name is James McCrank. I would like to ask the board a question. Are you guys familiar with the Nassar Act? Are you familiar with it? If you're not familiar,
Can't say that I am, but we generally don't respond, so go ahead.
okay. Well, it's important that we do get response, because we're not getting any response, and that's why we're all here. The bottom line is this: the United States of America Corporation is dead. Trump killed it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That flag doesn't represent us. That gold fringe around that flag is the signature of the corporation. And the reason that the media is not reporting it, the reason you guys aren't showing up, our sheriff isn't showing up, are you guys part of the corporation or are you part of America? Because everyone here is standing up for our rights. What legacy are you guys going to leave behind for your grandchildren and your kids? And I'm surprised that there ain't thousands of people here tonight. Either we got to do the right thing here, audit these elections, or the military is going to come in and do it. And if they do it, people are going to jail.
Through the storm, our birthrights that the bankers stole, they engineered each crash. They filled their vaults with the people's gold as they printed paper cash. A casino called the stock exchange, where the gambling begins. An investment tool to tempt the fool, where the dealer always wins. In this corporate world of government, where nothing's what it seems, your pathway set with every step to a grave of broken dreams. Unlearning everything we knew is a painful place to dwell, as a wizard sits controlling you behind his hidden veil. A global world agenda set by the deep and darkest state. They're puppets dancing on a string to divide the world with hate. The American dream and our flag of hope, they never let us be. We will serve each other under God in the land of the brave and free. We all saw our world collapsing.
The next thing that's got to fall are these failed, corrupt institutions. And when God Almighty sits and takes that judgment seat, it's over. So do what you can to improve the terrain until there is freedom.
We are the people, we are sovereign, moving forward through the storm. Don't be afraid and hold the line. In the royal house we stand. Like McKinley, Lincoln, Kennedy, we were told to trust the plan. The grandmasters playing 5D chess, they all know the art of war. Real generals on this battlefield led the Anons through the door. Information is the biggest threat in our search to find the proof. Such patriots we won't forget, who all dare to share the truth. We once stood alone against the beast, but united we will fall. When we go one, we go alone. But when together we go all. Oh yeah. Through the storm.
That was phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah. So I mentioned -48 earlier. There's only so much you can put in a video, and we see Professor Dave Clements in there, and the world is so thankful for a patriot like Professor Clements. And also I want to bring in 107, who's taught us so much, and we did a show regarding his book, The Kid by the Side of the Road. All these people have been tremendous leaders and patriots to teach this Q movement all the ins and outs of the lies. And now, in the last couple months, we had the great opportunity of working with Sheila Holmes, and Sheila is a wealth of knowledge also, another great patriot. And then another shout out to Rob Cunningham. Rob's done a phenomenal job on sharing with us on the Federal Reserve and XRP and how the precious metals and how the whole financial system has been manipulated, and we've been lied to about what really is real money versus currency. So this song here again touches so many things with the work that you did, Mike, put into the lyrics that Damian put together. So I just wanted to give you both a standing ovation. And I want to let everyone know that, Anna and I kind of put everything together, but we didn't do the work. These two here, Mike and Damian, did all the work. So those of you that are giving Anna and I credit, the credit goes to these two gentlemen. So I just wanted to say that. So Damian, you want to comment on this song a little more? And we appreciate you putting this together. This song is so quick.
I mean, when I've seen so many of your podcasts and so many of the great people that you've had on, obviously the financial slavery, the debt slavery is something that everybody's connected to. Whether it's not about having as much money or more money than anybody else. It's about having enough to do what you need to do for you, your family, your friends, and everybody else. And a lot of people talk about it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to flip the next day, it's this week, it's this event, but it cannot flip until enough people are humble enough and prepared enough. We talk about the RV, we talk about lots of things to do with that. I didn't put any of that in this song, but this is the kind of stuff that we're still seeing, aren't we, across all the channels, across all social media. And I think it'll happen at some point, but I do wonder if it's a fluid plan, if it's something that they're gauging as to whether or not people are ready for it, whether or not people are too greedy and seeing it the wrong way. I don't know. I mean, that's just my take on it. But just going back up, so I put a lot of financial information or the corruption of the financial stuff into this song, because obviously that's a big feature of a lot of your podcasts. And I know you've had Rob on here, who's outstanding. He did a 10-minute video the other day on the mechanics of the new system of XRP and Ripple and how it really works. And the level of detail that guy has is phenomenal. I mean, unbelievable. So I tried to put the financial stuff in there. We know it's a rigged system. We know why it's called a casino. I think originally people used to say that all the money stays in the house, and they meant Vegas, but I think they actually meant the stock exchange, because from my understanding, is 97% of the money never leaves the stock exchange. So if you're breaking the lines down bit by bit as to why I put that in, it's there's certain lines in there that I thought would resonate. And James, obviously yourself, I mean, secret covenants and law. I think you sent me the document of the secret covenant that I'd never seen before. Obviously, you've done many videos on law, on the difference between common and divine law as opposed to the maritime law that we're living under, which, if people just understood that, it's a great path, it's a great step, a first step for people to take to start understanding where we are in the world. So, just breaking it down line by line, I could do that. I said I've done 5 pages of every single line as to why I put it in, but I tried to remember a lot of the stuff that I've seen on your videos, on your podcasts, and some of the people that obviously you've had on your show and the work that they do, and fit some of that in. So that's probably, why it's ended up the way it has. It did seem to feel a little more financial than it probably should, top heavy wise. But
well, Damon, I think the biggest thing, and Jim hit on it earlier, is the humility side of things. What's the movie that Tom Cruise and You Can't Handle the Truth? I just don't think that a big part of our population can handle the truth. And I'm not talking money. I mean, if they think, even in the movement, if all they think this is a great get rich and the RV is going to happen and we're all going to have Porsches and lake homes and, we're going to be, what breeds out of that is selfishness and all that. There's so much that we have to learn about ourselves before any financial, I mean, it's going to get to a point where it's, once the reset or the RV or what it happens, people are going to look at it like, okay, it's like another action that just happened. And I think that's the mentality that we've got to kind of go into it, knowing that you guys just don't get it. This isn't about money. This is about our sovereignty, and we have to learn what being sovereign is. We have to learn about what true wealth is, and we've got to learn that from within. Juan has said that multiple times, is that we have to learn that. We have to know that. And I guarantee you that this world would be destroyed. And look, it's seen by any lottery winner, or it's seen by anybody that's come into a lot of money. They can't handle it. They don't know what to do with it. They waste it. They surround themselves with people that want to, lynch off of them. And it's a lose scenario. So I agree with you 100% that that has to be. I know it's a big focus of our whole movement is, the financial stress that we've all been under and the debted system that we're in. But by defining it that way, it seems the opposite of that should be rich and wealthy and, a lot of stuff that we have, and has nothing to do with stuff. It has nothing to do with stuff.
Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. And we got about 5 minutes because we got another show to do. Damian, I hope we can have you come back again, but I wanna add to what Mike said, and that is this: we have free energy coming, we have med beds coming, our water's going to be free. Okay, we're going to real currency. Just go to the U.S. debt clock and look at the currency. We're going to go back to 1955 pricing. How that is because our new currency is going to be worth exactly $1 is going to be worth 100 cents, not worth a little over 3.5 cents, which it is right now. So that drops. It brings the value of the currency up and brings the cost down. So our cost of living isn't going to be like it is right now. That Federal Reserve note is debt. We were never going to get out of debt with the current system, and it was all done by design. So what Mike's saying, all you that are watching this, if you're talking about the RV, I'm telling you my opinion. The numbers that you're hearing out there are not even going to be closely to what the RV is going to be. Because when you go to real currency, and if you're paying attention to the debt clock, and you go through all the PDFs, guys, it's not going to happen the way other people are doing. And everyone's comparing it to current evaluations. It's not. The same goes with XRP, the same goes with XLM, the same goes with all these tokens. When the currency is reevaluated to precious metals, and when I say precious metals, it's precious because God created it for us. Mm-hmm. It's not our money, it's God's money. He's just making us stewards of that money. And we have to pay it forward, like Damian was talking about earlier. There's a reason why these messages are on the debt clock. I beg you, go to the debt clock, spend some time there. Pour yourself a glass of wine, a glass of beer, whatever you like to drink, and spend some time on that debt clock, and it'll tell you the story where we're going.
Yep.
So with that, let's I wanted to say that based on what you two just talked about. Damian, I want to give you one last word here before we wrap things up, and I hope you come back again and we continue to build videos and do things moving forward. I just this is the beautiful thing about the Q movement right here.
I'm going to leave the links in the to Damian's video or his song on SoundCloud. Or Damian, if you want to give that up, you can say it as, but I'll also have it at the bottom.
I'm not here to push them, but there's 10 free songs on there that I've written the lyrics to. They're all quite different. You can go on there. They're all free to listen to. So feel free to have a listen and enjoy it.
Yeah, I will say something that some people will laugh, but that's my job here, okay, to make you laugh. I'm the Marilyn in the house. So pay it, especially you that is listening to this podcast, because I have been looking at Damian. And Damian, there's a book written by Herman Hesse. The name is Damian, and it's it's a must read for those who are in this movement, because it's our search within us. Damian by Herman Hesse. But this is not my point. This is not my point. I was looking at Damian and I said, maybe he's 007. He just looks like Daniel Craig.
Hardly.
Well, at the camera, please ask your wife if I'm wrong, because you do remind me of Daniel Craig and Casino Royale and 007. So, yeah.
That's because I'm wearing a clone mask.
Oh man, we knew it.
We knew it.
We knew it. No, you got to do this. Hey, Damian, you got to go like this.
I was Joe Biden for 4 years. Did you miss it?
Yeah.
We all are here.
Yeah.
We all
are.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we do have to bolt here. We do appreciate you coming on, Damian, and contributing to our podcast and our conversation, and sharing your talents with us, because we're all humbled by what you've done, and we want to thank you for that. And I want to stress the fact that if anybody wants to hear his music, go to SoundCloud or go to YouTube and watch the video on Anna's channel on both songs. So we look forward to working all together again. So
thank you, Damian. God bless you, and God bless your wife. God bless her.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Mike, for all your work as well.
All right. Thank you, Damian.
Catch up soon.
Okay.
And now we take great pleasure in presenting to you the star of our program, Miss Kate Smith.
Hello, everybody. It is my happy privilege to introduce a new song, God Bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so
Don't be late.
No. Wide with God bless America. My home. Sweet
Right, Pop?
Right, son.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America.
Kind of makes you think of Blake, doesn't it? Makes you think of a lot of things. We're going to be in this yet, Mom.
Hello, son.
Hi, Mom. Hello, darling.
New song?
Brand new, first time of the year. Brand new, my eye. You know, I threw that song out of Yip Yip Yap Hank 22 years ago. Sounds better now.